Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you love to watch more cheating stories. If you want to know how to get back your ex-girlfriend and boyfriend, click the link below.
Finally spoke to him about divorce. I posted before about the infidelity on both parts and how we tried to recover or reconcile. I spoke to my husband last weekend about how he has not talked to me since I found out about his multiple conversations with multiple women 3 weeks ago. It turned into yet another argument in which he stated that he can tell me things like I'm a cheap F*******, and that I should go ahead and get my divorce then. Also tried to tell me that he didn't say certain things, then when I wouldn't back down tried to say that's not what he meant then. At that time he still maintained he did nothing wrong by reaching out to different women on a dating website and then engaging with them, calling them beautiful etc. So last Thursday I spoke to a lawyer to see what she would say about how it would happen. She said it was a simple case and wouldn't take long. Last night I spoke to him and told him since he keeps hinting at it and it seems like we aren't getting anywhere, I went ahead and spoke to a lawyer. I had to record the conversation because he talks in circles and I can never remember or keep track of what was said, and I wanted to go over it later to process all the information. When I say he keeps hitting at it, he will say little things all the time that imply I'm going to be in my own. Like the binder I made recently for us to keep tire changes and oil changes on the cars, filter changes for the AC, etc. He said something about one if the cars and I said ooh, should I put that in the binder as well? And he said you could, you will need it later on. And his response is always the same concerning that binder, it's for me, I will need it. Also when we were on our mini vacation this weekend with all our kids, 5 in total, he said that there's 6, his last name, S in the pool. And I said no, there's 7 of us, and he said yeah, but only 6, his last name, S. So I said okay, to me that was a hint that I wasn't family. He may say he was just joking, but he makes jokes like this all the time where I am excluded. For Thanksgiving it was excluding me as a part of the things he was grateful for, naming only the children, and changing the subject when they asked him what about mommy. So yeah. All this time he's been hinting at it. Now that I took the first step, he doesn't seem to want it. I reached out to my therapist, who was our therapist but he decided not to go anymore, to tell her what happened and she told me that he reached out to her today to make an appointment. Just last night he told me that the counselor was for me and when I told him I chose her because she could see things from both his perspective and mine and understand both of us, he said if she does understand his view then she's not in my favor then. And I said she's not supposed to be in my favor, she's supposed to be in our favor. The point of couples therapy is for the couple to stay together. He held my hand while we drifted off to sleep last night after we talked. That was the first time he's touched me in months. He hasn't been talking to me. Hasn't been having conversations outside of the kids and household. When I try to tell him about my day and how work went he shuts me down. So all of this behavior was indication to me that he was done and we were done. All this to say, I'm confused again. I thought we were done. But now it seems like he's making an effort to save us? Oh, and he insisted again that I read my affair conversation so I can know what I did. I know what I did, I was there. Oh, he also brought up something that was completely unrelated and happened way in the past when we weren't together and made me out to be either stupid or bad for it happening. I don't know why he brought it up, it wasn't even when we were together. So that's where ending is it now. I don't even know what to do now. Here are the comments. Continue to file. You can always stop up to the day in court. Your husband is no playing you because he sees you are serious. Took time to read your previous story, there is way too much going on here that can be comment on accurately. Just looking at your issues where you say your ADHD is affecting your new job to the point you were worried about losing it, I have to wonder how much it has played into your marriage. How long have you been in therapy and have you not talked about communication skills? Married 12 years but lived apart for the first third of the marriage. You said his mom kicked you out twice, so there is another issue to take into account. You say he was having so you had a physical affair then told him? Not seen where you really do anything to address that other than to blame him. Not saying what he's done is wrong, but I'm getting the feeling your problems are better addressed in therapy where your own issues are addressed than coming here looking for validation. Please continue what you're doing. It's most likely that he's sensing the end of his punching bag and his source of kibbles, both are you, and is seeing if he can keep you on the hook. An about face on the cusp of real consequences is mind fuckery of the worst sort. Or to put it another way, he didn't care enough to even treat you with kindness until you looked like you were actually leaving. Those child and spousal support payments suddenly felt more real. You're doing the right thing, and the path to a better life lies on the other side. Good luck. He's angry, mate, like white hot rage angry. He can't find his happy place or the road that goes there, so he's lashing out at you. Not sure if your history, but your post said infidelity on both sides. This is what you're seeing. He is so angry at something. You probably know what. I don't want to presume anything, but I see anger in his behavior. Him holding your hand is him reaching out for comfort. It's his way of saying he wants comfort from you, but something's getting in the way and it's all he can cope or deal with. My opinion, he loves you very much, but so much emotion is happening he can't process it. He wants to scream, yell, punch, destroy, but can't because he knows that's wrong and won't really help. If you would like a future together, you need to make him feel safe again. He very obvious to me doesn't feel that way for whatever reason. You will only see the real him again when he feels safe. Only then will he be able to talk. It seems like there's no love, trust or respect either way, so all you are doing is dragging it out. You might want to see a counselor, not to fix the marriage but to find a healthy way to separate for the kids and minimize the impact your behaviors have on them. When people cheat, the union is dead. Period. End of story. Go ahead and get the divorce. Then work on yourself and figure who and what you are. It appears that you are submissive. Do you want to remain that way or take some personal gatherings, reflection as to who you are and that you are worthy of being an equal in a relationship? Divorce, if it is meant to be, you could reconcile in the future. Update. My husband told me to choose between him and a dog. So I wanted to get a dog for my kids and I, especially because my husband and I may be separating soon and I wanted the dog as an emotional buffer for the kids and me. We drove 4 hours away last weekend to meet the dog. My husband was with us. Everyone loved the dog. He remained silent about it as we enjoyed the rest of our mini vacation. I voiced that I was paying the adoption fee and I discussed openly with the kids that if the adoption goes through I will be picking the dog up this coming weekend. The adoption came through and I told my husband I will be picking the dog up this Saturday. He then said he doesn't want the dog, doesn't think we can handle it right now, and then texted me to say that it's him or the dog and I should choose. If I choose the dog he will be gone by Sunday. I don't even know what to say. When I had said that I thought the dog was a good idea in the case that we do separate, he said, "So you want me to leave?" In this almost desperate tone of voice. But then he volunteered to leave if I get the dog. So which is it? Does he want to leave or stay? He knows I spoke to a lawyer about divorce, so if he does want to work on our marriage, why would he tell me he would leave so abruptly? For reference, I've posted in infidelity and I really believe the marriage is done. If you can go read my other posts and tell me what you think about me choosing between he dog and my husband, I would appreciate it. Anyway. Just had our so-called family meeting that my 8-year-old called. I asked then who wants the dog. We all voted and it was everyone except my husband and stepdaughter. The baby of course can't vote. So it was 4 votes against 2. Then my husband asked the kids who wants a daddy? And 2 of them walked away while the others out their hands up. I put mine up at first but then I just kept it down. Then my daughter went to the couch and was laying down crying. I whispered to her that I'm getting the dog. Update 2. I took my daughter and we snuck out at midnight to go pick up our new family member. We are here now to get him. Here are the comments. Congrats on your new dog. As for your husband, I think he gave up his rights as an equal partner and shot caller when he cheated and threatened you with a knife. Honestly, just because your life is in shambles otherwise, it's not a great time for a puppy. You probably work 12-hour shifts as a nurse. You're about to lose 50% custody of the kids in a divorce. Might have to move. Holy fuck, leave him already. Was the cheating, knife threatening and attempting suicide not enough? A dog is genuinely the least of your worries. I would actually advise against you getting a dog because of how toxic your living environment is. Wouldn't want to subject a dog to that. Especially an adopted dog who could have already potentially witnessed some trauma. He's not trying, you've been trying for years. It's never gonna work out. Stop trying. Divorce. Don't bring that poor dog into the toxic mess up. Dogs are needy and rescue dogs can come with extra needs that are hard to meet by a mom of multiple kids, who is a nurse working 12-hour shifts with an unsupportive husband. Most dog owners without relationship issues don't meet 100% of their dog's physical and emotional needs. Source. Professional dog groomer, who sees dozens of dogs every day. Op needs to address her relationship problems before bring a dog into her life. And that's okay. Wait to bring a dog into the home when things are stable, please. Just to make sure I understand. You told your husband that you were getting a dog for when the two of you separate in the future, which resulted in him offering to leave now. I couldn't read the wall of text in your other posts, but I did get that both of you have cheated and you're saying the marriage is essentially over. It sounds like that problem solved itself. That having been said, Your life is a mess and things are all up in the air. Don't get the dog now. Wait until things are less messy. What makes you think that this abusive, knife-wielding fucker, who already thinks, not without reason or that I don't agree with you, that you are choosing the dog over him is a safe person to have around the dog? Or the children, for that matter? This custody plan of yours sounds like it will be a chaotic mess and could go badly wrong. If the only way to keep the house is to timeshare with him, I strongly advise you to sell the house and get separate accommodations. I was all for the dog before this revelation, now I think you're just asking for the dog to be hurt or run away. If you think he won't abuse the dog in front of the children, remember that he abused you in front of them. Dang, I just read your story history and honestly, I just feel for all of your kids. This relationship is about as toxic as it gets without someone being murdered. And to be fair, based on some of the stuff you wrote, one of you could still end up dead. Is that really what you want for your kids? Is your relationship the kind of example you want your kids to grow up with and accepting in their future relationship? I am rarely one to jump towards a divorce for many reasons, but truly your family needs one. A safe one. Don't get a dog just yet. It's just another stress that you will need to focus on as the dog gets used to the family and may not be a smooth transition. That would not be fair to the dog to go into an already unstable situation when it's already scared of the new environment. Focus on the decision of your marriage and whatever outcome that is, until you have a more stable home to introduce a dog. Especially a rescue, they need stable and positive energy homes in order to acclimate and adapt well, otherwise you could be introducing risk of aggression, anxiety, etc., which isn't good for you or the kids. By the way, your marriage seems really toxic. Cut ties and live your life. Dogs, when stressed, can bite, attack. They develop anxiety that can lead to reactivity and aggression. You don't want that around your children, are you? They will also destroy your home because of the anxiety. Imagine coming home to a house where the dog completely ate through the couch, pissed and shit all over your bed, or ate through the wall or doors. Would you be okay with that? No, it would piss you right off, especially if you're already stressed and you will take it out on the dog being a bad dog, when in fact, that is a situation that it was unfairly put in. Please don't put a dog or any animal in that situation. Good luck with your marriage and I hope you come to a decision, but I am totally advocating for the dog's well-being. Please don't adopt yet. It is so unfair to it. I encourage you to make your marriage your first priority. You mentioned that you have been discussing separation before getting the dog. I would resolve this. A dog isn't going to make it any easier for your children, and it will be a chaotic time for a dog to transition into your family. There will be more appropriate time to give your attention to a new dog. Take care of your family first. I didn't read your other posts, but I still think it's wisest to decide on your family dynamics before adding a new pet. I think it's because he's trying to push you into a corner. IDK you guys, him or your relationship, so this is just a guess, but to me it sounds like a desperate move. It's childish, but people do it all of the time. It's like, he can't bring himself to say, please don't get a dog and give up on us, because maybe that'd make him too vulnerable, and for whatever reason that might not be what he thinks he should be doing. So instead he says, if you get a dog I'm leaving, hoping that you will say that you won't get a dog and maybe you guys can work things out. Thing is, that's not helpful behavior. 'Cause what are you supposed to do? Respond to an ultimatum jumping up and down to show him you still care? I mean, this telling you he will leave if you get the dog could very well be a desperate move of his because he still loves you and wants to be together but doesn't know how to express it, or he could be trying to manipulate you. Show you, and himself, how he can control you. It's really hard to tell since IDK you guys. I think you need to work on how you communicate with each other. Because whether you get a divorce or work on your marriage, you will be in each other's lives for a really long time, since you have kids. I think your marriage is over and you should separate either way. I definitely do not agree with him asking the kids if they want a dad. That is disgusting behavior and it's abusive to involve kids in your adult situations. That being said, I think perhaps because it was said to the kids like this, that you should hold off on the dog. Your kids may now think that their father is leaving because of the dog and that you traded him for the dog. I know it sounds silly and that is what your husband is actually suggesting, but that's not the real situation. Kids see complicated adult situations in simple cause and effect ways and may not understand that daddy is actually leaving because of more complicated factors. Basically, I am suggesting that you hold off on the dog and separate from your husband. Then when your family is settling into a new routine, get a dog as a new beginning. A friend for your children to help cope with the changes. He's trying to manipulate you into letting him stay and keep living a life of affairs while abusing you. He's been doing this since like 2014, that's all he knows how to do. Have some affairs on the side where he's the perfect gentleman and have a stable home with you where he gets to take out all of his frustrations on you and gaslight you. Get a dog. Do personal protection training with it and see how the dog reacts the next time he threatens you with a knife. Get rid of this man yesterday. You're worth more than that boss. You won't be alone. You have your sister and mom for support, and you gotta think of your kids. Do you really want that man to set an example for them? Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Remember to subscribe and